Dire's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to pick. Seconds. Dire's turn to ban.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Foxley and this is Exordium versus Game Has Changed. Quick shout out to Kick Energy, South Africa's first milk based energy drink. They have all kinds of flavors: coffee, cinnabon, tropical punch, cranberry.
10. 5 seconds. It is Dire's ban.
Okay, so the draft starts out with Spirit Breaker on the side of Exordium. Always a good, reliable pos 4 to pick. I think it's a bit stronger this patch as well, which is a good thing.
10 seconds.
Queen of Pain, second pick. Oh, that's interesting. That's a bit of a flex pick. Not exactly sure how they're gonna play it. They can play it as a support or a mid, or yeah, basically those two. And then Game Has Changed with the Grimstroke first, so they'll probably try to do a nice combo with the Grimstroke, maybe a Doom Grimstroke or something like that, and then Tusk along with the Grimstroke, also a very solid pos 4.
Dire's turn to ban. Dire's turn to pick.
And then the Ancient Apparition ban, I think that says something about the draft that they want to do. They might have quite a bit of regen or lifesteal.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So the AA would have hard counted the Omni Knight, which is why they decided to ban the Omni Knight. And then Exordium now is probably gonna pick pos 3. I'm guessing.
10
I think Sand King's pretty good
remain.
this patch. I don't know if they have any Sand King players,
5
but that's a very good pick.
seconds remain. Dire's turn to pick.
Okay, Jakiro. So it is probably a mid Queen of Pain. Maybe they have someone that spams Squap and they just wanted to pick it before it gets banned. Well, that's very interesting. I mean, I have seen core Jakiros before. It can even be a
10
core Jakiro.
seconds remaining.
Very interesting draft here by Exordium.
5 seconds.
Okay. This is probably, I haven't even thought about it, but it's probably a POS 3 or even a POS 1 Omni Knight from Game Has Changed. He does have that new Aghanim Shard, which is a lot of peer damage. Can't really counter it, so it could be that. Or just a nice utility healing POS 3 with a lot of aura items like a mechanism. So they'll probably try to pick a POS 1 that synchronizes well with the Omni Knight. Someone you want to keep alive for as long as possible, like a PA or something.
Dragon Knight.
Oh, that's a Dragon Knight. Probably a mid Dragon Knight, which is interesting against the Quap. I'm not exactly sure how that matchup goes. But I don't think Dragon Knight really loses any lanes after level 3, because he just tanks it out. But he's not gonna win it either. So, best case scenario for Dragon Knight is it's a stalemate mid.
It is Radiant's man.
Timber saw!
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
Oh, the Timber Saw. Wow, that's 3 strength heroes for Game Has Changed, so this is a great Timber pick. There's actually something I think they overlooked a bit. So it's probably gonna be... I'm not sure who's gonna be against the Timber, because I think it's a DK mid. In that case, they can still try and put an agility hero against the Timber Saw, like a Troll Warlord or something like that, which would be at least a decent lane for the carry.
5 seconds remain.
Yeah, but the Timber Saw I think caught them off guard a bit. As you can see, they're taking a while with the bans now.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Slark ban. That's interesting, because I would have thought... I guess Slark counters their team as well. Slark counters both teams. But Exordium already has a tank counter kind of in the Timber Saw, so... I would have thought...
Dire's turn to ban.
Oh yeah, but Exordium has the last pick. The first last pick, rather. So they probably would have picked it first. And then the Viper ban for the Timber Saw. I don't think they would have picked Viper, because I don't think it's a POS 1 Dragon Knight.
seconds.
So there's not really space for Viper in this game.
5 seconds.
Last ban, yeah.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Anti-Mage. Yeah, I can see that. They have a lot of point target, and Anti-Mage counters point target.
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
Last pick here for Exordium. I think it's a pretty good Spectre game, because everyone's melee, so that dispersion's gonna do a lot of damage.
Dire's turn to pick.
Phantom.
Oh, Phantom Lance as well. Oh, that's big. Yeah, that's a great last pick. Now, Game Has Changed still has to answer the Timber Saw and BO at the same time.
10 seconds.
I'm not exactly sure what
5
you can get against that, except for Slark, but not even Slark really. I mean, if Sven was in meta, that would have been decent, but he's not. Probably the most nerfed hero in the game.
Alchemist!
Who will enforce your will?
Alchemist,
upon the
okay.
battlefield
Yeah,
today?
Alchemist has a timing where he stomps BL. I think very late game. Obviously, BR wins, but that's not why anyone picks Alchemist. You pick Alchemist to outfarm their carries and then before they can react. So I think it's a pretty good pick. They still don't have an answer for the Timbersaw though. I think literally any lane that Timbersaw goes in is going to be a good matchup for him. Any lane he goes to, it's going to be against the melee strength hero. So that's exactly what he wants. So this Timbersaw should have like a great game. I don't think Game Exchange should have picked a strength hero, but maybe they can manage to hit the timings right. Also, Kick Energy wanted me to just explain what Dodatsu is.
Prepare for battle.
So, it's basically, if I had to explain it to someone who doesn't play the game, it's like if it was chess, but also a lot of skill is involved along with it. So, and if chess has a lot of possibilities, Dota has infinitely more possibilities. There are, I think, 120 different characters you can pick, and it's 5 of them against 5 of the other. I mean, just the amount of drafts that you can have alone is pretty insane. Like, this game has endless possibilities. Pro teams surprise us every day with
30 seconds and counting.
different strategies and doing things we never thought were possible, and sometimes even new players do things that are just completely broken and just... So yeah, it's basically a game with endless possibilities and a lot of skill required to play it.
Radiant versus Dire. It all comes down to this.
Okay, both teams smoked different sides of the map. Dragonite's in a bit of trouble here, but I don't think they will get him. I mean, he's too tanky. And the objective of Dota is to destroy this building on the other team. But it's not as easy as that, because you need to destroy one tower, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the final ones before you can get to that building. And the other team is going to do everything in their path to stop you from getting those towers. Okay, starting out with the last hits, pretty good here for the Phantom Lancer. Got everything in the first wave so long. He misses the range creep though. Mid lane, it's an Alchemist against the Queen of Pain, so it was a pos 1 Dragonite, I was wrong, so that's a pretty interesting lineup. I guess he should hit his timing pretty quickly, at least. He does have that splash damage to up and farm as well. And then Alchemist the mid. He's having a hard time at the moment, but I think if he gets some levels up and flies enough regen in, he should be able to do fine. Dragonite completely depleted his mana, so he's not even flying in mana, so this is very good for the Timbersaw. No mana left on the Dragonite. Bottom lane, nice pull here from the Jakiro. Top lane, the Bara almost dies, but he does manage to charge out before the stun goes through. And mid lane, the Quap actually losing quite a bit of HP, and he doesn't have a salve ready, so nice comeback here mid lane by the Alchemist. Ooh, and top lane, Courier snipe by the Spirit Breaker. I think there's not going to be a lot of kills in this laning phase because, wow, it's pretty... I mean, this team is super tanky and this team is even tankier, so I don't think we're gonna see a lot of kills, but I might be wrong. Maybe the Timbersaw pops off a bit. Quap should be flying in some sort of region now. Yeah, he's getting a bottle and a salve. That should get him to where he wants to be. Meanwhile, top lane, Bara being a bit of a nuisance. Not willing to charge yet. Ooh, they're actually gonna go on the Bara. Bara dropping really low. Yeah, Dragonite does get the first blood on the Spirit Breaker. Very nice combo there by the Grimstroke, realizing that Bara doesn't have a lot of move speed to be able to escape that combo. Mid lane though, the Queen of Pain HP wise is struggling quite a bit here. He does have at least some regen now, but it's going tougher for him than I thought it would. Meanwhile, Bara cancels the pull from Grimstroke. Well played. It does give away that they have a ward though, so Grimstroke should be flying in a sentry next. Timbersaw aggressive posturing onto this Grimstroke. And meanwhile, Bara's gonna charge mid. Does Queen of Pain have the blink ready? No, he's very low HP. I don't think this Bara can go for it. No, he doesn't. But it does scare him enough to start TPing when he saw it on... That's not even his ward. Somehow he knew Bara charged. His teammates probably called it out. Meanwhile, 2 braces here on Dragonite. Wow. Okay, he's very tanky. 16 HP regen, 13 armor. He's not dying, that's for sure. Bara charge onto the Grimstroke. Grimstroke does use the Ink Swell in defense and does get it off onto the Spirit Breaker. But Spirit Breaker is a very tanky boy, so that shouldn't matter too much. Meanwhile, mid lane, Alchemist constantly getting harassed by this Queen of Pain. Top now, Grimstroke does get the D ward onto the sentry, but it's out of range of the Observer ward, so that's a bit unfortunate because he knew there's a ward there. And he just didn't guess the right spot. Meanwhile, mid lane Alchemist. Okay, never mind. I saw him dropping pretty low. I thought the Quap was going on him. Bottom lane though. It's a lot of sustain here for the Omni Knight. I mean, they have 2 heroes that have 2 braces, so they definitely have enough sustain in the lanes, HP wise. I mean, even the Alk has a bracer. This is literally the most braces I've ever seen in a game. Top lane, Timbersaw getting really aggressive. He knows they can't kill him. It's a very good Timbersaw game. And they do actually try to go onto the Grimstroke. Grimstroke does actually manage to get the return kill onto the Bara. Not exactly communicating with his Timbersaw. And now Timbersaw is getting went on, but he does have the Timber Chain to get out there. But nice turnaround there from the side of from Dire. From game has changed. Yeah. Meanwhile, Tusk's dropping pretty low. He is in that deny range. Maybe he will try to... No, he just uses the salve and gets out with that. Dragonite, meanwhile, is being a little bit aggressive onto the Timbersaw, but he's missing a creep wave here, so he decides to go back to the lane, get that XP, and get the gold from the range creep. And a wave Quap's going on an illusion. And yeah. The Alchemist is doing really well, by the way. Like, that's the thing about Alchemist. If he can survive, he can just start pushing this wave out and farming the side camps and get a lot of gold that way and a lot of last hits that way. Is 7 last hits in front of the Queen of Pain, even though the Queen of Pain is so aggressive against him. PL's doing decently well, but the Omni Knight's actually doing better here, which is pretty surprising. And now the Omni Knight's actually being quite aggressive onto the Phantom Lancer. There is a Tusk there that could have maybe jumped, but he doesn't have the snowball yet. Jakiro meanwhile is just making stacks for his Alchemist, which is I hope it's fine with the PL. I think the PL should be fine except if the Tusk ganks him. I mean, he's not making stacks for the Alchemist. What I'm saying, he's just rotating mid. Alchemist is in the other team. Well, the Alchemist is doing pretty well. He's quite a bit ahead now in the CS department. 52 last hits at 8 minutes. Bottom lane, the Omni Knight's still being aggressive onto the PL, even though the PL managed to get him low. Ooh, and Arcane Rune Quap does manage to catch the Tusk here in the triangle. So that's a nice pickup for the Queen of Pain and some XP for the Jakiro as well. And they do have a very aggressive ward here. So, very nice play there by Radiant. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker just annoying the Alchemist a little bit. Forces him to use his ultimate. And then goes and charges top. Oh, nice snowball onto the Spirit Breaker. Actually manages to catch him. Spirit Breaker dropping pretty low here, but the Ice Shard blocking them out. Oh, nice body block there by the Timbersaw. Not quite enough though. And now they want to turn onto the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw turns around and goes onto the Tusk. Tusk dropping really low, and they do get the kill onto the Tusk. Now Jakiro also dropping pretty low here, but no mana on Dragon Knight. And Timbersaw is just being very aggressive. He's trying to catch the backline here. Already got one support. Is he going to get the other one? Dropping really low now on the side of Grimstroke. But tower diving, maybe a little bit too deep here. He drops very low, and they do get the kill onto the Timbersaw. Well played there. Very nice turnaround. Very nice back and forth. But Bara is not satisfied yet. He does want to charge onto the Grimstroke. He's going to charge him. Maybe if he's lucky he gets a bash. Timbersaw does only have enough mana for the silence. And I don't think Bara will chase this. Bottom lane though, BL is doing pretty well. I do think he should be doing a little bit better now if he wants to outtime this Alchemist. More than 1k net worth now for Dire. 4 game has changed. And they do have an Alchemist on their team, so it doesn't need that much. Let's switch over to the net worth now and see what's happening there. So as you can see, the PL is actually doing quite a bit better than his last hits would have showed. It's actually only 600 behind Alchemist, which in terms of Alchemist means it is pretty much even with Alchemist. And Curious Snipe by the Timbersaw. Bit of aggression onto the Dragon Knight, but Dragon Knight is a tanky boy. Quap meanwhile seems like he does want to do a rotation into the top lane. The tower here is falling pretty low, and they do have a catapult to try and push it as well. So could be a good rotation. Aggression onto the Dragon Knight. I do think they're going to try and probably get the backline first here. Grimstroke at the back. No, they go on the Dragon Knight first. Dragon Knight pops his ultimate, but he's dropping really low. The Queen of Pain Sonic Wave just bursting him down, along with the Timbersaw spells. That's another kill for the Timbersaw. And he wants to go on the Grimstroke as well. Is this ult going to be in range? It does manage to catch him, slows him a little bit, but not enough for him to chase him down. Meanwhile, Tusk did get a kill onto the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to get punished for it as Quap does have his dagger ready and manages to get that kill. Meanwhile, mid lane Alchemist pressuring this tower dropping pretty low, but Timbersaw decides to rotate in and stop that from happening. Bottom lane, Omni Knight's dropping really low. He does have the Guardian Angel, so maybe he'll use it if he has to. Quap is here as well. There's a lot of magic damage. Doesn't have the blink cooldown though, so he should be able to just run out, as the Bara is quite far away.
Dire's bottom tower is in danger.
Regeneration!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Middle lane, a lot of heroes grouping up here from both sides. Bit of harassment onto the Queen of Pain. They almost decide to go on him, but he does manage to blink out.
That was
Nice deal there by the Grimstroke. Middle lane, Omni Knight getting went on by the Timbersaw. Burrow charge onto the Omni Knight as well, but there's a roll onto the Jakiro and they do manage to burst down the Jakiro. Sonic Wave onto 2, and now Timbersaw dropping pretty low. 4 euros on top of him, he should die here, and he does die, so very good turnaround there by Game has changed. And now they'll be looking to push this mid tower, which is already pretty low, so they should get it. I think all Radiant can do here is try to get the deny on the tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they don't try to do that, would have been a bit risky.
Dire's bottom
Meanwhile, Phantom Lancer is doing his part and pressuring the lane where he's in at least. And now a stun onto the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer does have his W ready, and there's a Tusk TP in as well. Let's see if they'll be able to catch him. They do catch him in the ice shards and they roll on him. Dropping pretty low now on Piao. Piao doesn't have any spells and they do actually get the kill there. Very well played. Very nice catch there by the Tusk, using the absolute max range of ice shots there to catch him in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant should look to their bottom tower.
Nope.
Meanwhile, middle lane, it seems like Radiant do want to push this tower back, get the objective back that they have lost.
Fortified their structures against
And it doesn't seem like Game has changed has enough mana to really contest this. Alchemist barely any mana, Tusk has no mana, Dragonite's low mana. And Dragonite actually in a bit of a situation here as they do go on him, dropping really low with the Timbersaw there as well, and they do get the kill onto the Dragonite. And not being able to contest that tower without any cooldowns or mana. Seems like Game has changed, actually sticking around the mid lane, and Quack is gonna go on the Alchemist, but the hardest spell on the Alchemist is gonna help him get out.
masterpiece.
And
Dire's
Tusk
bottom tower
seems like he wants to try and catch something, but it's very difficult with the PL being there as well. They do get the roll onto the Jakiro, and that should be a dead Jakiro, dropping really low. Omni Knight does manage to finish the kill, but Tusk also very low as the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave does come through to get the kill. Now Bara with the status resistance gets stunned out. He does turn onto the Omni Knight and gets the kill onto the Omni Knight, and he uses his Nether Strike to try and catch the Dragonite, dropping very low, but he does manage to run out. Dragonite dying again. This is very bad for his game as he's now 6th in net worth. And Alchemist struggling a bit to get his timing up here as
is in danger.
the PL pretty much has the same net worth as him and the Timbersaw, and they aren't playing Alchemist.
Add another to the tally.
Bottom wave though. Walrus Punch onto the Jakiro, and now Omni Knight in between 3 euros, dropping pretty low, but they do manage to turn, trying to go onto the Bara. They do get the kill onto the Bara. Omni Knight getting back for the time being, as well as Tusk. Tusk dropping pretty low now. There will be a kill onto the Tusk, and now Omni Knight. A lot of back and forth happening here. PL is very low, he doesn't have his W ready, so they might be able to kill him here, but they actually turn onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight dropping low now. And everyone's just low, but they do get the kill onto the Timbersaw finally with the Dragon Knight. And Phantom Lancer almost doesn't survive, but he does manage to get out there. And he did get a kill as well out of that, so very good for the PL. 2nd in net worth. I mean, it's 17 minutes in and Radiant already has all the tier 1s, which is very good for them. And now PL, he wanted to go into the Dragonite, but Dragonite does get the TP out in time before always mana is depleted. Now bottom wave, Co-op TP's in. It seems like everyone on the side of Radiant is around the bottom area. They want to try and make a move here. PL is baiting bot at the moment, and it seems like the bait's going to work because everyone from GHC is rotating in onto the PL, but they decide to go on the Jakiro instead, and they do get the kill onto the Jakiro, and now Tusk dropping pretty low. He was the first one to roll in, so it does make sense. They're trying their best to keep him alive. Meanwhile, on the backline, PL is dropping really low. Alchemist is going on to the PL. PL now, one more hit and he's dead, and they do get the kill onto the PL as well. And now Snowball onto the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker does manage to die as well with the Ink Swell. Timbersaw trying his best to cut his way through the trees here. Doesn't have a TP scroll though, so he should be dead. And that's 3 kills for the Omni Knight.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Not exactly what you expect from a Phase 3 Omni Knight, but he manages to deliver. And obviously with his team around him.
is under attack.
And that's gonna help his mechanism timing. At the same time, GHC is getting this bottom tier 1, so trying to get a bit of map control back, and they do have quite a bit of map control now after that move. PL decides to go top, trying to catch up in farm. There's a lot of creeps here for him to farm. Smoke here by GHC, they want to carry on with the aggression. They had one fight and that wasn't enough for them. They want to take another one. And if they go down here, they will be able to catch the Timbersaw, but I don't think that's something they want to catch. They'll probably want to go on like a co-op or something. Preferably at PL. PL isn't showing at the moment, so they don't know where he is. Seems like they are going to make a move into this triangle, quite possibly. But the smoke gets broken. PL, I mean, Barra is... but they do have the prime target, and that is the Quab. They do manage to spot him out, and Barra's going to die here as well. Very nice wraparound there by GHC. Getting the 2 kills in the triangle. A pause 2 and a pause 4.
The Radiant's scan to know Dire's whereabouts.
Meanwhile, Alchemist is farming the enemy jungle. Very interesting. He does manage to find a stack there as well, so that's going to be a lot of fun for him. Meanwhile, top lane, Dragonite stuns onto the PL. Doesn't have any mana left there, but they're still going to try and go on the PL maybe. Tusk is here as well. And now Dragonite does get Nether Struck, dropping pretty low. Low PL should be able to get that kill. He does get that kill. And now Tusk has 0 mana. They're going to try and dip. Queen of Pain goes on the Omni Knight. Meanwhile, they also go on the Tusk. And they should leave the kill here for the PL. Yes, PL does get the kill. Omni Knight being very aggressive onto the Queen of Pain. The rest of the team's gonna rotate in onto him now. And Grimstroke tries to TP out, but the stun goes through for the Barra, and that's a double kill for the PL. And now PL, well, 20 PLs on the Omni Knight. Almost gets a triple kill, but the Quap gets that kill. That's a huge fight there without the Timbersaw. I like the aggression from GHC, but that time it did not work out. Middle lane, PL is just trying to keep up with this Alchemist. He's doing a very good job. He has about the same last hits and pretty close to the same net worth. And Alchemist also did a pretty good job to stay in this game farm-wise. Does have that BKB up now, so 10-second duration BKB. They're probably going to try and look to fight with that. Meanwhile, top lane, a lot of heroes here. Quap does manage to dodge the stun with the Heal Scepter. Now Grimstroke should die here as the Timbersaw does get the last hit. Ooh, Alchemist with a very aggressive TP. He does have his ultimate ready and is very aggressive at the moment, trying to go on them. He does have that 10-second BKB ready if necessary, but it seems like everyone on Radiant's just gonna dip. They try to chase down the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw is pretty difficult to catch. Does have that Heal Scepter available as well. Still, Timbersaw not dying. Meanwhile, nice charge onto the Tusk. They do get that kill. Sonic Wave onto 3 Euros. And now, Dragon Knight's gonna die here. Nice ultimate by the Omni Knight. But not. Let's see, a man fight between the Piao and the Alchemist. Who's gonna get it? The silence comes through just in time, and that's gonna be a kill onto the Piao. So a good fight there for GHC. The aggressive TP by Alchemist working out. And yeah, both teams being very aggressive at the moment. Alchemist farms both games at the same time. Meanwhile, Quap, he's just trying to get that Yule Scepter up. Probably, I don't know, I mean not the Yule Scepter, he's trying to get the Orchid up. Just to help him catch heroes more sufficiently. And Bara charges. Oh, he wanted to charge the Alchemist, but Alchemist TP'd out and he didn't get lucky enough to have it bounce to the Grimstroke. And now a bit of a calmness as both teams are just farming their sides of the map. GHC just farming here. Dragon Knight's gonna go for the stack. He does have the splash damage with the ultimate. I'm not sure if he's gonna use it for the stack. No, he's just gonna farm it the good old fashioned way. And Alchemist doing a really good job now. I mean, he's far ahead of the PL, and that was quick. I mean, he was pretty much equal with the PL 10 minutes ago, and now he's 4k ahead of him. Bara charge onto the Grimstroke mid does cancel it before getting silenced, at least. And Timbersaw is doing his job this game. His job's pretty much just to stop them from pushing towers. And yeah, every time the wave gets too close, he just goes and tanks it, pushes it back out. No one can kill him, so he can do whatever he wants. Well, difficult to kill him, rather. Nice deal there by the Grimstroke, but Bara is angry. Piao is also angry, and I don't think he's gonna get away with it scot-free as 3 Euros converge on top of him. He does manage to get the deal though, so I don't know. You decide if that's worth it. Could be. I don't know. Dragon Knight does have his Maelstrom out now, which is going to be good against the Timbersaw. Some actual magic damage instead of physical. Ooh, an Alchemist. I was a lot closer to dying there than I think he would have known. Meanwhile, top lane, they are pushing this Timbersaw back. Timbersaw should be able to get out here if he doesn't get stunned. Alchemist does have that stun up again. Seems like they are going to chase here. It does pop the stun. It's going to be on the Alchemist. There is a tower here, so his team can come out him if they want to. But I don't think it's worth it for them, as they do get the kill onto the Timbersaw. And it's a very long chase there, but they do get the kill. Ooh, Queen of Pain silences Grimstroke, and Grimstroke silences Queen of Pain. Bottom lane's getting pinged. I don't know if they want someone to farm it or why it's getting pinged, but it is getting pinged, that's for sure. Well, everyone's gripping up here from GHC. Maybe they're gonna try and do a smoke play. Yes, Tusk does have a smoke. Yeah, I think they're getting bored of not fighting for this long. They do have an Alchemist with the Shivas and Boots of Travel now as well. So maybe they're gonna let the I think they're gonna let the Alchemist bait mid and then just jump on them when when they fall for the bait. Seems like Queen of Pain and PL, they do know that Alchemist is there, but Alchemist decides to not push the bait any further, not take the risk. Oh, there's a ping here by the Omni Knight. Yeah, I think they want to go here, see if they can find anything. And the timing is pretty unfortunate as no one is there. Quap, mid should be careful, there's like 4 heroes on top of them. They do get the stun onto the Quap, they do get the burst out in time, yes, with the Warrior's Punch, that is enough. Alchemist uses his ult and his BKB, Grimstroke ultimate onto 2, Silence onto the Phantom Lancer as well. He doesn't have the Manta to be able to debuff it, and now Jakiro is in a world of trouble, and Timbersaw. This could be a full clean team wipe by GHC. This is a very good smoke by GHC. They do get the kill onto the Jakiro, and only Timbersaw left, and he's definitely going to die as well, and that's huge by GHC. I mean, if you don't count the Alchemist, these teams are pretty much even in net worth, and they just managed to full team wipe them. That was a very good move by GHC, getting all those kills. A little banter coming through. And now a 7k net worth lead by GHC. Almost all 7 of those Ks are Alchemist. But it's still a 7k lead. PL now quite far behind the Alchemist, but I don't think it's that bad for them because I still favor Radiant's late game draft, and GHC they only just got the 3rd tier 1, so it's taking quite a while to get these objectives. PL meanwhile is gonna pressure the bottom lane while GHC pushes top, trying to force rotation. Queen of Pain is here as backup as well. Yeah, I don't think Radiant wants to take this fight at all at the moment, which makes sense. And PL, I mean, he's doing quite a bit of damage on this tower. He's actually going to take the tower before GHC does at this rate. But GHC does use the Fortify. PL not quite feeling safe. Just backs a little bit, but when he gets more info he decides to go back in. And GHC, they're gonna go for 2 tier 1s here, going for the middle one as well. I mean tier 2s. And GHC, they're just gonna start pushing high ground without the PL being there. And they do get the kill onto the Jakiro. Alchemist being very aggressive, he does have that Blink Dagger now as well. And I mean, this tier 3 is dropping at quite a pace. PL meanwhile still pushing bot. He does manage to force a Grimstroke TP though, so that's something. No Grimstroke ultimate in the fight if he does go back. Ooh. Quap ult onto 3. They're dropping actually pretty low here. Tusk, Boris Punch onto the Timbersaw. They do get the kill on the Timber. And that's a triple kill for Dragon Knight with the splash damage and the Maelstrom. PL, I mean, they actually managed to trade a Rax here, which is, I mean, it's pretty decent against the Aegis. Ooh, but the Snowball. Ooh, that's rough for the Queen of Pain. Getting Perma disabled. And they do get the kill onto the Queen of Pain. Grimstroke trying his best to stop this PL from pushing, but he's not able to. And GHC are going straight throne here. I mean, PL is gonna have to TP back if they're gonna do that. 3 heroes on the tier 4s here. PL jumps on to the Alchemist. Alchemist still has, no, he doesn't, yeah, still has that Aegis Omni Knight ultimate stopping the PL from getting any kills, and now Timbersaw dropping really low. He doesn't have buyback, so he needs to be careful. PL, he does have buyback at least, but he's struggling to get any kills here. They're just too tanky on the side of GHC. Now Dragonite's dropping pretty low. They do get that kill at least, and now 2 silences by the Grimstroke with the ultimate. Respawned by the Alchemist, but he doesn't have his ultimate ready, so they can actually maybe burst him down here. He tries to go on the Queen of Pain, and he decides to TP out with the BKB. He manages to time it right, and PL also gets a kill on the Grimstroke.
Come and be judged fairly.
Mid charge by Bara onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight sword coming, so he did definitely graze himself first. He does have this Guardian Greaves as well, so it's going to be pretty difficult to kill him, and he has the Repel ready again. And now Alchemist being aggressive onto the Bara. Bara uses his charge, so he doesn't have any way to escape here. Dropping pretty low, but now everyone from the side of the Radiant is converging onto this Alchemist and the Omni Knight. Tusk also rotating in with the Spider Legs, does manage to get the snowball off onto the Timbersaw. Timbersaw dropping pretty low here, but decides to back for the time being. Now Alchemist gets his stun reflected, and they do get the kill onto the Timbersaw without a buyback. So this is a pretty good spot now for GHC. And snowball onto the Jakiro. Jakiro doesn't have buyback either, so they need to be careful here. If a lot of them die, it's game over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And 5 euros mid by GHC. They are pressuring objective with this Timber being down, and that's a jump onto the Jakiro. Jakiro is a bit of trouble, but the DK is actually dropping pretty low here between a lot of euros, but I don't think he's gonna die quite yet. They do manage to finally finish him off with that charge, and a missed ultimate by the Tusk, and now he doesn't have any mana left. PL being pretty aggressive here, trying to push them back. Queen of Pain does not have the ultimate for another 25 seconds. Bara charge onto the Tusk. I mean, Tusk is 2 hits away from dead. Does manage to get the snowball off to make him survive a little bit longer. They will get that kill on the Tusk. And now next, the Omni Knight is in a bit of trouble. He actually speeds his teammate instead of himself. And that's going to be the death of him.
You hurt the world.
So good fight there by Radiant. Probably should stop saying Radiant, but I forgot what their team name is.
Add another to the tally.
And GHC is struggling to close this game out, and actually giving Radiant a bit of a door back into the game possibly. They are going to try and check if Roche is back up. It's not up yet. I'm not sure how this timer works, but I think that is...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but I think that's about 1.5, 2 more minutes for Roche. So it should be up by 38 minutes. Now the PL is getting really scary. Almost has that level 25 talent with the minus doppelganger CD, which makes him very difficult to kill. I'm not exactly sure why he doesn't have Mantle this game against the silencers. I guess he just wants to get the stuns over and done with rather than being able to purge. Meanwhile, Quad being very aggressive onto this Grimstroke, man. He does have the Linked Sphere to block Alchemist stun, and does blink out before getting silenced at least. It charges onto the Grimstroke, but Grimstroke will die too quickly. But that's another kill for the PL, and PL getting really scary really quickly now. I mean, he has 4k HP, that's ridiculous. Ooh, Omni Knight maybe a little bit out of position as everyone converges onto him. He does turn for the time being. Alchemist, he's trying to go for the backline first, but he gets heal scepted up, which is going to stop him from being able to stun Does use his BKB in time though, so he doesn't stun himself. Dragonite stun onto the Spirit Breaker. They will be able to get that kill, but Queen of Pain ultimate onto 4 people. Roll with 3 people. Ooh, Omni Knight ultimate going through. Should be able to stop quite a bit of the damage here, but they are still dropping pretty low. And meanwhile, Alchemist gets stun onto a bunch of them, but his ultimate expires, so he's not strong anymore. And that's a kill onto the Alchemist. Meanwhile, Omni Knight dies as well. And in the backline, at least the Tusk manages to get a kill onto the Dragon Knight. I think that kill onto the Dragon Knight might be able to keep them into the game, as well as Alchemist having a buyback here. Ooh, double kill for the Tusk. Gets the kill onto the Quap as well. MVP. Oh, he doesn't quite have the blink ready yet, but that double kill was more than enough. He doesn't have buyback either though, he needs 120 gold. Buyback by the Alchemist, he uses his ult. Oh, but they can't quite manage to catch this PL. They react to the buyback instantly, well played there. And that's a win condition for Radiant. Wow, this game has turned quite a bit. Now, if they kill Alchemist, they might very well be able to end. What is this PL's? Oh, he's going for a butterfly next. He still has that casual ring of regen which he bought at the very start of the game. Oh yeah, and that's tier 4 items are up now, so both teams should be farming that. PL has... They do have 2 of those tier 4s. Let's see what... Yeah, both only have 2 so far. Alchemist is going for the flicker, and they are going on the Baron Mage. Tries to charge out. I'm not sure what cancelled the charge there. I'm guessing, I'm not sure, maybe the creep died, or, I'm not sure what happened there. PL decides to go for an Assault Cuirass instead of the Butterfly. Very interesting, because I thought the Butterfly is pretty good. They don't have anything to go through the... They don't have anything to proc the evasion. But I guess Assault Cuirass is more of a team item, which is going to help them push. Help the entire team instead of just themselves. Ooh, a roll onto the Timbersaw, but this PL is very strong and it easily gets the kill onto the Omni Knight. Double stun by the Dragon Knight though, onto the PL. And now PL being aggressive onto the Grimstroke. Grimstroke's gonna fall pretty easily. That's another kill for the PL, and that's... Now PL is actually dropping pretty low as his teammates died around him. It's only him left against 3 now. If they get the right one, he should be dead here. And they do get the kill onto the PL, so I'd say that's worth it for GHC. And that's with Roche as well. So both the cores are up for... Or the 1 and 2 is up for GHC, so they should be able to Roche now. Oh, the Tusk wants more. He wasn't happy with just that. He's trying to find the Jakiro, but I don't think he realizes how close he was to the Jakiro there. And they wanted to turn on the Tusk, but Tusk doesn't linger around for too long, so that's fine. It's a nice item he's getting here. He's getting the Lotus Orb next. I think anything you can just put on this Dragon Knight or the Alchemist to keep them alive, keep them stronger, is a good item this game for the Tusk. He already has the Spirit Vessel to counter the Timbersaw and the PL to an extent. The new Art of Tarrasque is very strong. It makes fountain diving a lot easier than it. They buffed fountain diving again. And GHC I mean, like, I'm going for Roche, and it doesn't seem like either Radiant notices or they want to contest. Because they don't have the PL, so I don't think they feel comfortable trying to contest this at all. Roshan does have a cheese now, so I mean that's something at least. And Dragonite takes the cheese, so that's a... This is actually, it's a weird lineup, but it's actually a pos 1 Alchemist and a pos 2 Dragonite.
Illusion.
That was, yeah.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Alchemist has a very interesting build. I didn't even talk about that. He has the overwhelming blink, which is, I think it's pretty good because Blink was always a good item on Alchemist, but because he gets his items up so quickly, it never really felt justified. But now that Blink at least has quite a bit of an upgrade, so you can justify buying it a bit more. And he didn't rush it, which is pretty important in my opinion, because a lot of people rush the Blink Dagger. I mean these Blink Daggers, which is so, like, it's so inefficient to do. I mean it's 7k item. I think it might actually be the most expensive item in the game. Yeah, I think it's the most expensive items in the game, and then people rush it. It's not that good that you, yeah. And he does have a, who did he give the Aghanims to? Alchemist just had an Aghanims. Who did he? Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he has to click on it first and then on the arrow. Yeah, so Aghanim's on Dragonite now. That magic resistance with his ultimate form, along with all the armor he just naturally has, makes him very difficult to kill. And Dragonite's actually a pretty decent counter against PL. Not necessarily a counter, but he helps deal with him, because he has that splash damage with the Maelstrom.
Be well.
Not much is happening at the moment. Dragonite's pushing this wave back. And it seems like GHC are posturing to make a move with this Aegis they have on the Alchemist. Alchemist not even rocking the boots because he has that bonus move speed on from his level 25 talent.
Purified.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower is under attack.
yeah, the pushing by the Dragonite will mean that GHC do get this tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's gonna be interesting to see how they play this fight,
dying.
because top lane's getting pressured the entire time. PL's not gonna move. 2 easily, as we saw previous time. And the PL, when he does join the fight, he usually focuses the Grimstroke and the Omni and the Tusk first. I mean, Tusk can snowball to stay alive a bit longer. He has spider legs. Grimstroke has the PL walks into the Omni Knight, or the Omni Knight walks into him. Let's see, and there's a fight happening here. 4 people. Yeah, Queen of Pain ultimate onto 2 people. Blink in by the Alchemist along with the Guardian Angel by Omni Knight. A lot of stuff happening at the moment. Alchemist just in between all of it as well as Dragon Knight. And Dragon Knight actually managed to get the double kill. He does get the kill onto the PL as well, so that's huge for GHC. Very big fight. All they lose is the Omni Knight, and now the Queen of Pain might die as well. Does he manage to get the blink out in time? He does get it for now, but they still want to try and chase him. No spells ready for any of them, and the buyback by PL, I'm not sure how much that's going to do. He's going to go on the Tusk first. And Tusk dropping pretty low in mana. Yeah, they do get the kill onto the Tusk. And it seems like GHC are dipping with the Alchemist not having his ultimate ready. And Radiant are chasing. And nice. Nice. Radiant are gonna try to force out some buybacks themselves. This is pretty risky because if they force out the buybacks and those buybacks kill them, then it's game over. Let's see though, this is a very ballsy move by Radiant. I mean, 2 of their teammates aren't even there. They are getting away with it at the moment. Alchemist charges his stun up, uses it. Ooh, blinking by the Dragon Knight does get the kill onto the PL. And blinking by the Alchemist as well. Everyone is on top of this PL. PL doesn't have a buyback. If they get him here, it's pretty much GG. They do get the PL. And Timbersaw is just trying to get out. He's going to try and defend in base. Bara doing the same, trying to escape. But they do get the stun on him. And this is a very dead Spirit Breaker. What is these charges? Like, is it charging here and that's why it's cancelling it? I don't understand. That's the second time that happened. Maybe something cancels it that I don't understand.
Got it.
Tower is under attack.
And let's see, GHC should be pressuring this as much as they can. Swap, Lincoln Sphere gets removed. Almost gets burst down. Oh, that's actually fine. Does use his ultimate onto 2 Euros there, but the Alchemist is very aggressive and he blinks onto the Quap. They want a straight India, but they don't have creeps because this Timbersaw is cutting the wave. This might be the play. I mean, this creep cut by the Timbersaw is actually insane. This could actually catch time for the PL to respawn. And now the Timbersaw TP's back. They're gonna actually try and fight here with only 3 Euros alive. Timbersaw in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have the buyback. Ooh, I don't know about that. I think what he was doing was fine. He was actually gonna win the game for that. Maybe, I don't know. That creep cut was the play. But it was a pretty bad situation for them anyway. And now they aren't actually going straight in because the PL is respawning soon, so that creep cut by Timbersaw still did quite a bit of work. Bara charges in onto the Dragon Knight. They really want to burst this guy down, but there's an Omni Knight at the backline that just keeps him alive. And PL still focusing the Grimstroke first. They do manage to get that kill onto the Grimstroke, but now Jakiro and Bara dropping pretty low. They have to back out at the moment, and it's PL in between all of them. Dragon Knight though does manage to finish off the final racks. They get the kill onto the Omni Knight and onto the Dragon Knight as well. All of them have buybacks though, but it's a pretty good fight for the Radiant. And Tusk's the only one that survived there. The only one that doesn't have buyback as well, so... instant buyback there by the Alchemist. I'm not sure about that. I think the Tusk could have just TP'd back and defended that. Oh, they need to send a courier into Roche. It's gonna be up soon. Come on, send that courier. Quap finishing the Octarine core. Wow, he's gonna have no cooldown on the Sonic Wave. Yeah, he's gonna consume the eggs. I don't know why the eggs is in the courier. I think maybe he just didn't have space in his inventory. Could have teleported the spider legs out, but yeah, okay. Sonic Wave has a 22-second cooldown. That's actually really big for them. They can easily get 2 of those off in a fight. Let's see if she does that. With the way these fights are going, she can get like 3 Sonic Waves off in one fight if she starts it very early. Yeah, if she starts the fight with a Sonic Wave and then uses it 2 more times, she can use it 3 times in a 40-second fight. Well, they actually can't catch the Alchemist here on the high ground. Alchemist forced to use his BKB and his ultimate. He also charged up his stun as well, but that's going to stun himself. And he doesn't have buyback. Oh no, there's 4 heroes on top of the Alchemist. 125 seconds without the buyback, and Roche just respawned. Oh, that's huge. That's huge for Radiant. Meanwhile, Jakiro, top lane, gonna push the wave back because these mega creeps are quite a nuisance. They're actually gonna probably get this Roche with mega creeps. I mean, Jakiro is very good at pushing waves back. That is huge for Radiant. They can actually try and end this maybe. Maybe the PL, if he gets a Divine Rapier and just full sends it, they can... I think they can win this. I mean, I'd almost say I favor their chances over the others. I mean, the mega creeps are a bit of a problem though, so they need to push the waves out quite a bit before they can go for a GG push. Let's see, what is this PL queuing up? He's actually queuing up the Silver Edge to be able to kill this Dragonite quickly, and another thing about Invis this late into the game is it's a lot of the time you just get out of things that you can't usually because no one has space for detection except for the supports. So Invis this late into the game is pretty strong. And Scott's going for the Aghanim Shard next, which is a very strong shard. Oh, actually brings very aggressively. He doesn't have a cheese or anything. Uses his ultimate, catches onto 2 heroes, Grimstroke and Omni Knight in the backline, dropping pretty low, and now the Tusk far away from his teammates, definitely gonna die here, and he doesn't have buyback as well. Ooh. I mean, Jakiro is pushing back waves at the moment, but he can buy TP boots and TP in if his team needs him. But Queen of Pain's actually getting back here as well, and he has an 18-second cooldown on his TP. His team probably should have waited for him though, because the Alchemist is going onto 3 people now. Going on the Bara first. Bara, 1 more hit, should be dead. Timbersaw, same goes for him. And a bit of a misplay there from them going in without the Quap or the Jakiro. But they did get a ranged barracks. A Gleipnir on the Dragon Knight. That's interesting. GH actually posturing to maybe do something here. I mean, they don't have a Timbersaw on the other side, and but there's still ages on PL. At the moment, the Mega Creeps are pushing the tower. They might try and jump the squad, but he does have the Lincolns and the heals, so it's a bit difficult. They do pop the Lincolns, which is good for GHC. And now PL going on the Alchemist first this time. Alchemist does use his ultimate, but the Omni-Knight ultimate goes through as well. PL does get stunned up, and that is a dead PL. He does have Aegis though, and that damage by the Quap with all the daggers does so much damage. 3 euros dead on the side of GHC. And they do get the kill onto the Dragonite as well. Instant buyback by the Jakiro. He does manage to get the Ice Wall off onto the Tusk. And they still have this tier 4 tower, so the base isn't even looking that bad after all of that. Really interesting that they didn't wait for ages there. They know what's coming. I think they want to buyback because Alchemist doesn't have buyback. So they want to make them think that they have 5 buybacks. If that makes sense. Alchemist still has 1 minute and 10 seconds left until buyback. Oh, 3 euros mid. They'll easily get this melee barracks. I don't think GHG cares at all about the melee barracks. They care about the throne now. And I mean, PL still has a buyback, so they can pretty much full senders and not even lose that much. They're going for the tier 4s. This could be it. Ooh, GHG, oh, the Grimstroke very far ahead. They do force off him out, so he is going to be alive for a bit longer. He does have his ultimate ready though, with the combo. But the throne's falling, they have to do something now. Grimstroke still has his ultimate. Uses it in the backline, but the throne's gonna fall, and that's GG. Huge comeback by Radiant. Very close game. GG's.